Survivors of the cold. In a world transformed by a relentless infection, the only remaining bastion of humanity lay in the icy wastelands of the north. The virus had spread rapidly, turning those it infected into grotesque creatures that thrived in the cold, driven by insatiable hunger and primal aggression. Chapter 1: The Frozen Dawn. Eli awoke to the sound of howling winds and the eerie silence that followed. The once bustling town was now a ghostly reminder of what life had been, the streets buried under layers of snow and ice. He gathered his gear, an old backpack filled with rations, a makeshift weapon fashioned from a metal pipe, and a flickering flashlight. As he stepped outside, the chill bit at his skin, a stark contrast to the warmth he yearned for. Eli knew he had to keep moving. The cold was both a sanctuary and a curse. It kept the infected at bay but also isolated him from potential allies. Chapter 2: The First Encounter. Days passed as Eli navigated the frozen landscape, scavenging for supplies. One evening, while resting near an abandoned cabin, he heard voices. Curiosity piqued. He cautiously approached. A small group of survivors huddled around a fire, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. "Are you alone?" one of them asked, his voice shaky with uncertainty. "I am," Eli replied, weighing his options. He could use their company, but trust was a dangerous gamble in these times. The group welcomed him, sharing their meager supplies and stories of survival. They spoke of the infected, hulking brutes with deadly mallets, lurkers that could strike from the shadows, and now, the terrifying presence of the beasts, infected animals that prowled the cold wilderness. Chapter 3: Into the Darkness. But that hope was short-lived. As they settled in for the night, a distant roar shattered the silence. The fire flickered, casting long shadows across the snow. Panic erupted among the survivors. "It's a brute," someone shouted. "We need to move." Eli's heart raced as he grabbed his makeshift weapon. The group rushed out of the cabin, but chaos ensued. The brute emerged from the darkness, towering and relentless, its mallet swinging with deadly precision. Eli fought alongside the others, but one by one, they fell to the creature's ferocity. The ground became stained with blood, the once united group now scattered in terror. Just as Eli thought he would be next, he spotted an opportunity. He maneuvered around the beast and plunged his pipe into its heart. The creature roared in agony before collapsing, lifeless. Chapter 4: The Cost of Survival. Breathing heavily, Eli surveyed the scene. The survivors who had welcomed him were gone, leaving only echoes of their screams in the bitter cold. Grief washed over him, but survival demanded he press on. He was now alone, with the knowledge that trust could be a death sentence. Days turned into weeks as Eli continued his journey through the desolate landscape. He encountered more survivors, some friendly, others desperate and dangerous. He witnessed the brutal realities of the infection, groups torn apart by fear and aggression. One fateful night, he watched as a lurker struck from the shadows, infecting a fellow survivor before Eli could react. Chapter 5: A Glimmer of Hope. Eli's resolve hardened as he moved deeper into the frozen wasteland. He learned to rely on his instincts, using the cold to his advantage while avoiding encounters with the infected. Each survivor he met had a story, a warning about the horrors lurking just beyond the snowdrifts. Eventually, Eli stumbled upon a hidden community, a refuge built within the remnants of an old research station. The survivors here had fortified their haven against the elements and the infected, creating a semblance of safety. Eli shared his knowledge, and together, they devised strategies to defend against the threats outside, including the lurking beasts that prowled the perimeter. Chapter 6: The Final Stand. But peace was fleeting. One night, the alarms blared. A brute had found its way into their sanctuary. The community rallied together, using fire and teamwork to fend off the relentless beast. Eli led the charge, wielding a torch as a weapon against the darkness. In the heat of the battle, he fought alongside the survivors he had come to trust. The flames danced wildly as they surrounded the creature, driving it back. When it was finally defeated, the survivors cheered, their camaraderie forged in the heat of battle. Epilogue: The New Dawn. With the brute vanquished, Eli stood among the remaining survivors, gazing out at the horizon. The sun broke through the clouds, casting a warm glow on the icy landscape. They had faced unimaginable horrors, including the relentless beasts that roamed the night, but they had also found strength in each other. In a world consumed by darkness, Eli discovered that survival meant more than just staying alive. It was about forging connections, fighting for each other, and finding hope amidst despair. Together, they would rebuild, and in the heart of the cold, a new dawn began.